What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, day number 22 inside the Big Brother house. And we've got a lot to go over. New alliances were named and formed, old alliances coming back together, a bunch of really big news articles to get to. But before we get into that, I do want to tell you at the end of this video, we're going to dive deep into my brand new alliance chart. I feel like I've kind of had a forest through the trees moment. I think I might really kind of understanding a little bit of the brilliance behind some of the gameplay that's going on right now. And I want to try and explain it to you guys, at least the way I see it. So make sure you stick around for that at the end of the video. But let's jump into what happened yesterday on the live feed. So one of the big first things that we need to talk about, and it happened pretty early. It was towards the start of the day when usually things aren't as crazy that early. But there were more pitches and convos with Hisam, who was going around. We saw late last night, early in the morning, they were up almost till 8 a.m. So I was even surprised they were up as early as they were. But Hisam continued to give more pitches. And I was really interested to see if any of them seemed like they stuck. Any of them seemed like they landed. None of them did. It gave people lots of info, but nobody ever went, you know what, actually, maybe we do keep Hisam now. Even though he made some really good points on why Cameron, who's somebody who's already turned on them, probably isn't somebody you should keep. They just don't have the numbers, no matter what way you kind of break it down. There was never going to be enough people to be able to vote and flip it to keep Hisam over Cameron this week. So it seems like it's all but a foregone conclusion that Hisam will be evicted on Thursday. But he's not lying down, right? He's making that effort. And during one of his convos with America, Izzy came over to kind of tell her, like, hey, you know, we got some slop that's ready for you because America is a have-not this week. And while they were headed on out, Izzy kind of said to Hisam, she's like, you know what? Why are you lying about us? He's like, do you want to have a conversation? And she just replies, screw you. It's like, whoa. Listen, you may not like Hisam. You may not like how he acted, but he's not really lying. Everything he's saying is pretty true. That's one thing you can't say is he's not lying about them. They might be portraying that, oh, the professors and going after Reilly and all this kind of stuff was all his idea. But it was a group decision, right? Like, it wasn't all him. In fact, they had the alliance forming and they were worried about that group upstairs way before Hisam was even involved. So they are blaming it on him. But yeah, it was just a very wild interaction there to start off the day. We then got more stuff going on with Cirie and Matt. Cirie at this point is basically filing the adoption papers for Matt. And one of the things that I've kind of, that was part of kind of the forest through the trees moment is we all know that Cirie has Jared, she has Izzy. She's kind of at this point brought in Cory and really kind of feels like she has Cory kind of, I don't want to say under her thumb. Like, Cory's going to do what he needs to do, but they're using him where at this point, Cory's someone who probably would be smart enough to go after Cirie, is now feeling like he's working with Cirie in the crossroads. So another person that she's kind of adopted as well. And then she's also now started to bring in Matt. I think she sees that he's in a spot where, you know, he's got Jag and Blue, who are much tighter as a group, and he's kind of on his own as this little bit of like a lost puppy that she wants to give a home and take in. So Matt is kind of buying into it as well. We saw some of that with the conversation with Hisam and Jag last night, very late last night, early this morning, where Hisam was telling him everything about what happened. Afterwards, Jag said to Matt, he's like, man, he was in their alliance and they cut him for us. Or they said they cut him. And Matt kind of quickly was like, yeah, but they cut him for us. It's like, yeah, they cut him for us, but they could cut us for somebody else. right? What if they're cutting us for Cory in America and just next week? And Matt seems like he's already kind of bought into the Cirie doctrine, if you want to call it that way, where he's kind of buying what she's selling and she's kind of taking him under his wing. It's what she really was attempting to do with Reilly. If Reilly was ending up able to stay that first week, or not first week, but this last week, she was kind of thinking of like, oh, I can maybe pull Reilly in and kind of pull her in as one of my other like kids that I have in here. And it's all kind of insulating her because these are all people that could potentially win competitions and then wouldn't go after her because they have this connection to her. And it's really kind of amazing to watch. She has this with other people too as well, like with Bowie and stuff like that. But I think with these people, it's a little bit different because they're more on the younger side, and it just feels more like it's like, oh, this is like my new little family that I'm making for everybody, and now everybody has friends to play with. You know, Cory and Jared, like they're having little play dates. Izzy's hanging out with me a lot, but you know what? Matt's the puppy that we're bringing for the family. But we can move on from there because there's a bunch of other stuff we need to talk about, including Jared. And you know, he's having play dates with Cory, but he's also having play dates with Blue. And you know, not only did they have their first kiss, but before that, it seemed like I shouldn't say first kiss. First kiss we've seen. First one we've seen. But before that, there was some stuff happening, you know, under the blanket. Maybe it was a little bit of the warming of the sausage, the poking of the taco. It seemed like I don't know for sure. I didn't frame by frame. But they were upstairs, they were under the blanket, like hands were moving. Seemed like they were having a fun time. And yeah, that happened. Not a boink. We're not at a boink counter yet, but we did get some extracurriculars going on. It's just weird because come on, man, your mom's in the other room. But your mom's right there, bud. It like you know how like it's always like, oh man, it'd be so weird to like do this on national television, you know, like to do this on camera, like the cameras are always on us. What if my family sees? What if my family's watching? What if your family's in the house? Jared, keep your hands to yourself, buddy. Relax. We then got another final two that was kind of made official, little pinky swear action happening with America and Jag, who have slowly become a little bit closer over the past few days, the past week, even where with all this chaos that's going on and everything happening with the Hisam Blindside and all the information that came in afterwards, both of them seem like they really do trust each other. Problem is for America, this isn't Jag's first final two. He has one with Blue already, but with Blue getting closer to Jared, it seems like, yeah, this might be a good idea for Jag to also get close with America. Plus, America also has the thing going on with Cory. There's the little kind of flirt mans thing going on there. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that's all going. There was also talk about, speaking of all these people, the family style, the old family style group kind of working together. Cory and Jag were having conversations about this, like, hey, let's get the six of us back together, which is pretty much family style, minus Reilly, minus Cam, to make sure that we're all watching each other's back, because why not? We kind of found ourselves in a little bit of a middle position anyway, so let's make sure we keep each other's backs. We then also had the Seven Deadly Sins. That alliance of seven has kind of officially formalized, given themselves a name. And not only that, though, we had another alliance that was named yesterday. It was, well, it was a great one. maybe one of the best names I've ever heard. Legend 25. In there, we've got Bowie, Cameron, Cirie, Felicia, Izzy, Matt, Mecole, and Red. It's an 8-person alliance. It's pretty much fake. Everyone pretty much knows that they were having this meeting up in the HOH room. It's not really a big secret to anyone inside the house. In fact, while that meeting was happening and they were coming up with names and stuff like that, the better conversation was the one that was happening out in the bathroom with Cory, Jag, and America. And I gotta say, like, the three of them, their humor just kind of hits right with me. It's very meta, Big Brother jokes, very dry, but like just it really hits with me. Their humor, it's really a lot of fun watching them go because they were saying like, oh man, like while they're up there, like what should we call our alliance? Should we call ourselves the students? They said what if we just call ourselves the professors? And they said no. How about the professors with the Z? Then there was the confessors, and they said on that one they'd make sure they get Cameron involved. There was the inconsistents, the unreliables, the leakers. Hisam was also going to be the captain of the unreliables, so they were like, oh man, we're really sorry to see you go, but hey, good news, you're now the captain of the unreliables, buddy. Little consolation prize for you. But yeah, that pretty much is everything that happened on the feeds yesterday of note. Yeah, there was other conversations, but it was all really about those big things coming together and how they're kind of interacting. Again, the Legend 25 one seems like it's kind of fake. Really, the main purpose of it is to kind of keep, Red and Cameron from coming after kind of anyone else in that group, so that potentially they would go against, like, let's say Jag, Cory, and America, which is also then weird why they're just kind of okay with it happening. Like, they knew this alliance was being made, but like they don't really mind it. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic this season. But I do want to start going over the alliance chart. We've been talking about all of these alliances. Here is the brand new alliance chart for week 4. Like I said, Cirie and Jared will forever and always be up at the top. That is never going to change. I've added a couple of new things in there. Like we got the little graveyard in there with Hisam as the target up there. And then the status with HOH veto winner and nominees for the week. But I do realize that this is a little small, right? It's a little hard to see. So why don't we go dive deep into this thing and head on and shrink down here myself. I wonder if Frankie's got a shrink ray. Frankie, time laser is not going to be any good. You got a shrink ray? Okay, let's try it. Seems like it worked. Seems like it worked here. We have shrunken down. We are inside the chart here. And let's try and go over this a little bit. And because like I said, I feel like I've had a little bit of a forest through the trees moment. I feel like I've kind of understood a little bit what's been happening because it felt like just complete chaos. And I wasn't sure if Cirie just wasn't great with the Big Brother format, if she's just always this chaotic, which still may be the case, or if this was just some kind of extra level brilliance thing that was going on here, just specifically that she does for Big Brother. And I think I've kind of been able to see what's happening here. So you got Jared and Cirie up top. Underneath them, you've got their two main final threes. You've got Jared, Cirie, Felicia. You've got Jared, Cirie, and Izzy. You've also got underneath them there that 6. That is not an alliance. I don't want you guys to think that's an alliance. I've even put under there, not an alliance. This is their ideal final 6. So if they could have everything go perfectly their way, this is how they would like things to go. Blue, Jared, Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, and Bowie. It gives not only Jared someone that if, for example, both of them were to be knocked out at this stage, boom, they have a number one waiting for them. If Jared was evicted, Cirie still got Izzy. She still got Felicia. If Jared gets knocked out, if Cirie were to get knocked out, Jared would have Blue. Jared would have Izzy. Jared would have Felicia. So they still have people that they can rely on that they know will keep them kind of moving forward. Bowie kind of just getting dragged on as a goat. Blue is just kind of there for Jared. She's not really there for Cirie. Felicia, also kind of a goat. They feel like they can kind of just take her there. And this is me more implying, right? These are just things that I think they just... do we really have to guess? They would love to have Felicia sitting next to them in the final two chairs if it couldn't be both of them sitting there. So I think this is, again, not only like they've said this is their ideal final six, but it's not an alliance. This is just what they're working towards. And I think it's important to note as we then go over the rest of these alliances. Also, a couple other little things that happen in the middle here. We've got Cirie's daycare. I kind of talked about how she's kind of been adopting people. And I think that's part of her little strategy as well, is just have these little like minions underneath them. And yes, Jared technically is part of her little minions. So I just thought that was kind of something that we should keep track of as well. The crosswords over there, which at least for Cory, he feels like he's a big key member with. But I feel like Cory would be somebody that they would want to take out final 7, final 8, double eviction style. So that's why I think that middle there, that's endgame stuff. That middle pyramid with Jared, Cirie, their final 3s, their ideal final 6, her little daycare. I think even Matt would be somebody that she would be okay kind of taking along, that could maybe take some shots for her that she can't take. So I think that is their perfect endgame situation there, is that kind of a combo there. Will it necessarily happen that way? Probably not. But also I thought, again, it was important to have that related on here, because I think that was a big thing for me on how I started to see what's happening here. So on the one side, our oldest alliance over there, the Bye Bye Bitches, Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, Mecole, and Bowie. They are still a thing. They're in some other things that have been happening as well. For example, if you go down directly below them, we have Make It Happen. That's with Jared and Cory, kind of an extension, kind of a replacement for what the professors were to the Bye Bye Bitches with Red and with Hisam, now that is over. Underneath, you've got the Brown Sugar Babes. That is still kind of a thing, but also, again, not as much so prominent in everything, but still something to keep in mind. Now, over on the other side of the house, you've got the 7 Deadly Sins. Jag, Blue, Matt, Jared. You've got Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia. That's kind of your one side of the house, the other side of the house situation that we have going on. Meanwhile, again, Jared and Cirie kind of find themselves right in the middle of everything, with Felicia and Izzy as well. I'll give them some credit on that. Underneath there, I do want to kind of note that foursome of Jag, Blue, Matt, and Jared, they're kind of sticking together for the most part, at least for Jared to kind of infiltrate in there. And then I really wanted to make sure, again, because Jared's not really with them, but Jag, Blue, and Matt as a bit of a trio there as well. And then underneath them, that kind of family style remnants there, the leftovers of them. Can they come back together? Will they build and be stronger? Even if they do, Jared's in there. So everything's fully known to Cirie and Jared. That's another thing I want you to keep in mind. Everywhere you look, Jared and Cirie touch. There is no place on this board that they do not touch. Even to the point where they're fully aware of the Jag, Blue, Matt trio. They are fully aware of the Matt, Red, Cameron trio that's just below me here. Why? Because of the one that's next to us here with the Legend 25 and how that all came about. So pretty much Cameron and Red, we talked about them going to Matt, telling him how like Jag and Blue were seen as targets of the other side, so be careful. And if you want HOH, it might be good to put one of them up. So they kind of brought him in, and they've ended up going to the Bye Bye Bitches and kind of forming a thing there. Wild stuff, just really wild stuff. So yeah, this is kind of how I see things at the moment. There's probably some things I'm missing, some blind spots too as well. But I think for me, this really shows, like, yeah, I kind of see the method to the madness that was Cirie's chaos here. And yes, it could still just be complete chaos, but the way she has things, everything laid out, as long as they don't win HOH and they don't have to show their cards, they should be okay. There's always some other target for them to be sitting there next to. They should never be on the block next to each other. That's for sure. Nobody's ever thinking of them together yet. And unless the secret comes out. And as long as that's the case, they've got so many targets and people that they can sacrifice to keep themselves safe with everything that's moving around here. So yes, while getting rid of Hisam was a bit of a wild decision for the professors as a whole, it was always good for Jared and Cirie because Hisam was going to eventually come after Jared, potentially even this upcoming week if he were to win this competition. So yeah, it's wild how everything is broken down here. The other great part about this is Jared and Cirie, they can't really win HOH. But guess who really is fighting for it hard? Jag, Blue, Cameron, Red, maybe even Mecole. Mecole might give it a good go because she's going to be worried. America, she's kind of going to be worried about a lot of the stuff going on. And I think all of them are going to be going into this competition so confused over which is the true allegiances of everywhere. Jag knowing that people have backstabbed their alliances again. I think he's going to want to kind of gain some control. So I think he's going to go into this competition and be like, yeah, I need to go in there and just get rid of Red. Like, I just need to do that so I can solidify that, like, this is where the numbers are. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun headed on into Pressure Cooker. Another little interesting thing we found out was, does anybody remember Mr. Beast had that app on your phone where everybody, you could hold your thumb on your screen. You had to hold the button. Whoever held it the longest would win like so much money. Apparently America did that, and she said she lasted 46 hours. And I'm sure she was still living her life, right? She had other stuff that she was doing, but she kept her finger on that button. When you got a competition where the whole purpose is hold the button, I think America could be your favorite going into this competition. We'll see how that all breaks down. But yeah, let's head on back to our big screen here. And yeah, what do you guys think of everything going on? Hopefully that breakdown of the alliance chart was helpful for you guys. And that you guys kind of are seeing it a little bit more like I am at the moment, where I kind of see the method to the madness at this point. I can't say it's actual brilliance yet, but there's a chance, there's a possibility. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of everything going on in the house. There is always the chance that they flip on Hisam. I don't think it happens. I really don't. I think we finally gotten to a point where they're going to go, okay, we can go into next week with this new battle plan. We have all of these new crazy alliances. Everybody will be taking shots at each other. Meanwhile, everybody in that middle section there can just kind of huddle up, let the big targets take shots at each other. And we may even be seeing a little bit of an evolution of Big Brother. Even starting with last season, we had, you know, things like the Pose Pack kind of start up, right? I forget even what they called themselves originally, but they ended up being the Pose Pack, right? And then from there, that broke up, and we've got things like Old School and the Leftovers, of course, forming. And it kind of turned into like, oh yeah, just because this one big alliance forms in the first like week or two doesn't mean that thing is going to steamroll the rest of the season. we might see that thing break up. We will see other ones start forming. Potentially, we could start seeing more of a Survivor-style voting block scenario, which I think is something we've really needed in Big Brother for a while to keep things fresh and interesting, to keep from the crazy big alliances being the dominant thing. It almost feels like it's kind of naturally happening right now over these past few seasons that, hey, these big alliances, they start up, they last for a little bit, and then they kind of crumble. So let me know what you guys think of everything going on in there. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Links to all of the socials are in the description. Pinned comment down below. Things like my Twitch, Twitter, Discord. You can join the conversation over there. It's always a lot of fun when the feeds are going on. We were kind of joking around about the stuff happening under the covers over there. So make sure you come hang out. Anywhere you like to follow, anywhere you want to ignore, go on ahead. But thank you guys again so much for watching. And we have an episode tonight. We will see the veto and the veto ceremony. We won't get much of the fallout, obviously. That will happen on Thursday's episode, tomorrow's episode. So yeah, it'll be still pretty interesting to see. Also, this competition's supposed to be fun. I think it's supposed to be gooey and gunky. So get ready for that as well. Thank you guys again, though, so much for watching, and I will see you next time.